way, I do want to thank Wolva Lion. I see him in the chat.
Take it to the house, I'm about to touchdown. G's living lavish.
Come on, God. Come on, God. Yeah!
Belly's big, but they full. We do it big. I know you wish you could.
Welcome to Wolverine Sports Talk. I'm your host, Coach Mike Jones, formerly of Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Proud YouTube channel. So shout out to Kurt Steele, LL Cool Torrance, Valerie Bordeaux, and the rest of my Proud Nation family. But y'all already know, man, this is from my Michigan Wolverines and my Detroit Lions' team, Wolver Lion. And we're trying to take over YouTube, man. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel, do all those things, man, and help me get this content out to more Wolver Lion fans like yourself. Y'all know I always like y'all to comment on the videos. I appreciate the comments on the videos. Let me know, your thoughts, your opinions. Maybe there's things that I didn't cover that you want covered. You can always just let me know by dropping a comment in the comment section. Or if you really don't like being on the spot like that, you can email me, wolverlion@wolverlion.net. I will always get back to you. That's just how I do. And do me one favor. Go over to www.wolverlion.com and get you an all-white Wolverine tee. They on sale right now for $10. And if anything else, man, just stop at the top of the page. I have a poll up. There's which Wolverine products do you want to see released? You can go and vote on those products, man. And I actually will have the full store available for the start of the football season. Yeah, the full store. So just go to wolverine.com, man, and share your thoughts. But let's get into this video, because actually this was a video that was requested by somebody who commented on the video, and they said, man, what about that preseason schedule, man? So yeah, let's get into the preseason schedule, because one thing I can say is we have a tougher preseason schedule than usual. We have all three of these teams have playoff hopes, serious playoff hopes. As you know, two of these teams had playoff victories last year, and one of these teams are in playoff contention because they're kind of in that division where everybody's in play. So let's get into this. Let me bring it up real quick. So one thing I will say is I'm kind of sad because as you guys know, I'm a defensive line coach at Jackson Northwest High School, and two of these preseason games fall on a Friday, and next Friday actually, and that will be that will be our last session of two-a-days, so I will not be able to attend that game. And then the last game is Friday, the 25th, and I believe that is our first game of the season, so I won't be able to be at that game either, so that makes me sad. So the only game I can be available to be at is the Saturday game at where Jacksonville comes to Ford Field, so hopefully that will be in the plans. But let's get into it. So the first game is at home, Friday, August 11th, versus the New York Giants. Like I said, if the Giants won a playoff game last season against the Vikings, so they have hopes of the playoffs again this year. Any team, have hopes to build off what you did last year. Now, I will say that it is kind of unknown what the Giants will be like, because Saquon Barkley did hold out for a while he did sign, the deal, the new deal. It's just how much will he be involved in the game? They kind of don't want to get him hurt because he hasn't been there the whole time. So that's going to be a big caveat to that. But it's just seeing them against a team with playoff hopes, aspirations. They got a playoff victory last year. That just shows you that we're getting ready for that Week 1 game against the Chiefs. And you gotta have elevated competition. I mean, that's the only way you can really do it, man. So that'll be an interesting game. I know Ford Field will be rocking, even though it's only preseason. Just the fact that we got somebody and it's the game and it's like ready, set, go. As you heard Jerry Jacobs, he said we're gonna be lit out there. Now I will say that there'll probably only be a couple of drives that the starters will be in there. it's more for auditions for guys who are on third string, maybe guys who are trying to make the team. So I would say the starters might be out there for 2 drives, maybe 3 drives. I don't see them obviously playing past the first quarter of that game. So, but like I said, Ford Field should still be rocking. It's the first chance that we get to see the Lions in action with all the hype. So that should be an exciting game. Move on to Saturday, August 19th, against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a game that I have circled in preseason, and it's like, you circling preseason game? I'm circling preseason games because the Jacksonville Jaguars are supposed to be supposedly a top 4 team in the AFC. Actually, I think they might be a top 2 or 3 team in the AFC. They're a young team. They were actually younger than us last year, so that talent is they're building on that talent. We all know they got Calvin Ridley back. So that's going to be a big plus. Yeah, I mean, you basically swapped out Marvin Jones for Calvin Ridley. So, I mean, but Jacksonville Jaguars, they won a playoff game last year. And ironically enough, we have their kicker. So I think I fully expect Riley Patterson to win the kicking job. As you know, he kicked the game-winning field goal for the Jags last year to win that playoff game. So, it'll be real intense. Actually, August the 17th, I will be at the joint practice that the Lions are having with the Jags. As you know, actually, let me back it up. The Lions will also have joint practice with the Giants leading up to the game on Friday. And then that following week, they'll have joint practice with the Jags leading up to that game on the 19th. And I will be at the August 17th practice with the Jags. That's the one that I circled. I figured that that'd be intense. Hopefully I see a few scuffles. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So that game will be a teller. I expect the starters to play more along probably the whole half, because as you know, that last preseason game is kind of audition game for guys on the third string and guys who probably won't make the roster, so they're fighting and competing. So I expect the starters to kind of play most of that first half, if not the whole first half, to kind of get that in, because the preseason got shortened from 4 games to 3 games, so that's really the only marquee game that you really have in the preseason. So I expect the first half for the starters. Then you move on to the final preseason game, which is on the road. So it's at Carolina. We kind of have a few, wrinkles there. Deuce Staley, as you know, is coaching in Carolina. So yeah, so that will be kind of a welcome back, Deuce, kind of thing. But Carolina's in contention also for the NFC South, because the NFC South division is wide open. I do give a little nod to the New Orleans Saints. I think that Derek Carr, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Jamal Williams, Alvin Kamara, who has just been suspended for 3 games, Taysom Hill, I give them the nod over Atlanta, who has a rookie or a first-year starting QB. He started a few games last year, but he's going into this year as the starter. Carolina, who's starting a rookie, and then Baker Mayfield, who's starting down at Tampa. People will say he has a lot of weapons, but I give the nod to New Orleans to have the leg up in that division. But with that being said, the division's wide open, so Carolina wants to compete. We all know the kind of coach Deuce Staley is, the kind of coach Frank Wright is. So, yeah, that ought to be a super competitive practice or not practice, but a super competitive game. So, but that is on the road at Carolina. That'll be Friday, August 25th, which is actually our Jackson Northwest Mounties. That'll be our first game. So, yeah, it kind of sucks that the first preseason game is going to be on our last day of 2 days, and then the final preseason game is going to be on our opening game night. So the only game I really have a chance to be at is the August 19th, the Saturday, August 19th against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I will try my hardest to make that game. I know I'll be at the practice. I already have my tickets because they give you 4 tickets. I already have my tickets reserved for that open practice. So I'll be there in attendance. I'm going to try to be at the Jacksonville Jaguars game because that's the only game really in the preseason that I can be at schedule-wise. So I'm going to try my hardest to be there. But yeah, man, I think it's good competition, right? You got all 3 teams have playoff hopes. All 3 teams are live. And we need that for week 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs. We need playoff teams to go against the Chiefs, like to build and get ready for the Chiefs. I think that the Lions did a good job at scheduling. You don't want to go too rough. You don't want to go too soft. So I think that's perfect level of competition, especially that Jacksonville Jaguars, because they're supposed to be a top 4 team in the AFC, and we all know the AFC is thought to be a little bit better than the NFC. So I think that'll be elite competition, man. But let me know in the comment section what you think about the Lions preseason schedule. I'm happy with it. I think it's perfect. I think it's a perfect amount of competition to help us get ready for the Kansas City Chiefs, man. So like I said, let me know in the comment section what you think about the level of competition. About what you think about the 2 home preseason games, followed by the 3rd preseason game away. Probably Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn gonna be barking like they was on Hard Knocks. So, yeah, man, just drop a comment in the comment section, man. Let me know what you think. But like I said, I listened to your comments. I heard that there was something there that somebody wanted to hear about the preseason. So drop your thoughts and your opinions on what you think about the preseason. But y'all know how I do, man. It's Coach Mike Jones, and you know me, man. I go from the big house to Ford Field. Go blue, one pride. Holla at y'all.
To the house, I'm about to touchdown. She's living lavish, so our shit is plush style. Belly's big, but they full.